everybody, Erica Sturwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs, and I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful card using the new Country Floral textured embossing folder that is in the Celebration second release from Stampin' Up. As of February 15th, we have 3 new products to choose from, and this is one of them. It's one of the thicker embossing folders, the dynamic textured embossing folders, and it creates quite a deep embossed image when you run it through. And what I have done is colored it with Stampin' Blend. So I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, let's get started. I am going to use thick Whisper White cardstock. Because I'm using Stampin' Blends, the ink I find works the best with the thick Whisper White. It doesn't bleed quite as much as it might be if you put too much ink on your cardstock. Now you're going to need your regular Big Shot platform, and this is a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of thick Whisper White, just one clear platform or clear plate on top, and we're going to run it through and let's take a look at it. There it is. Isn't it beautiful? Now I'm going to color it. I'm going to show you how to color it, but really it by itself is just beautiful on colored cardstock or even shimmer white cardstock. It's gorgeous. Now I decided to keep it simple and use only 2 colors. So I am using Daffodil Delight and Old Olive. And I just kind of start with my light color and follow the image around the outside and color it in. The ink really behaves well with this embossed image. It stays exactly where you want it. I have also done this with the Aqua Painter, and it is beautiful just as much as this. It bleeds out a little bit, which is the watercolor look, which is just fine. But it just depends on which you want to do. Now, if you're going to use a watercolor, either an Aqua Painter or a blender pen, you need to use the shimmer white or even the watercolor paper, the cardstock. The Whisper White will not work. All right, I'm adding a little bit of dark Daffodil Delight and just kind of bleeding it around, spreading it around with the light. All right, so you were going to continue to do that, and then I did all the yellow first, and then I went with my light Old Olive and just colored in all the leaves and the little foliage pieces. You want to make sure you have really good light for all of this so that you can see exactly what you're doing. Now you would just continue on coloring. You could use any colors that you want. You could use a mix of colors. There's several different kinds of flowers on this embossed image. And you know, the sky's the limit. And if you don't want to color all of it, you could die cut a little piece of it and color it and use it on your card. The last thing I did was I took my blend and I just went around these little dots that are everywhere and just kind of dotted them with my Daffodil Delight blends. Now, for the sake of the video, I have already done one. Isn't that beautiful? You can tell where I used darker Daffodil Delight to kind of create more interest as I went. I also took my Stampin' Blend and I did some flicking of color like this to flick on some of the darker Daffodil Delight. All right, so we're going to just put it down on a Daffodil Delight card base, but then we're going to do a couple of other things. Isn't it gorgeous? It looks like textured patterned paper. All right, I decided to use a stamp set called Life is Grand. It's in the 2019 Occasions catalog, and I really like this stamp set. And I think that the fonts look like they're metallic. They have kind of a shine on them. You can kind of see that. So of course I'm going to use gold embossing powder on this. So I've rubbed my piece of vellum with my embossing buddy, and I'm going to try to get this straight while doing this on camera. There we go, in Versamark. Versamark is the ink you want to use when you are embossing. And then I'm going to get my gold embossing powder that I keep in an old stamp case and just sprinkle it on. Make sure I've covered everything. That embossing buddy keeps the powder from sticking with static. So use that embossing buddy and it'll help your your image be nice and clean, and the powder will only be stuck to the inked image. So give your heat tool a couple of seconds to heat up, and you'll see your letters begin to turn kind of liquid gold. Be very careful on your vellum. You don't want to scorch it, so move your heat tool around as you work. And there we go. Nice. All right. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of Fast Fuse. Fast Fuse, whoops, there's my sample. I need that one. Fast Fuse doesn't show through the vellum. So if you don't have Fast Fuse, you could use liquid glue and a sponge to kind of dab it on if you want. There we go. Now I'm going to add a few of these butterflies. These are Celebration butterfly elements. They're also free with a $50 order. I think I'm going to take 3 of them out and get a glue dot and just stick that one there. You could also emboss these in gold too. I've shown you how to do that in a previous video. They're beautiful, aren't they? But I felt like we needed just a few more things, so I'm going to get some metallic sequins. And let's see. I would probably use my fine tip glue pen, but I don't have that. So I'm going to pick them up and set them down here on a glue dot like that. And then, whoops, there we go. Add it like that. The fine tip glue pen works beautifully with these sequins because you can just set it down with your take your pick tool, which is what I'm using right here, on those glue dots, and they stick perfectly. All right, let's see, how many do we want to add? I'm using the putty end right there. And we only want gold. So, well, goodness. Definitely use your fine tip glue pen. All right, maybe one more. Let's see if we can get just one more out of there. Stick that down on the glue dot, scoop it up, and let's put it right there. And there you have it. Isn't that a gorgeous card? I just love this country floral embossing folder, and I think it's going to be very popular. So make sure you grab it before it's gone on March 31st. You can hop over to my blog to grab the PDF on this project, as well as 2 others that I did when we kicked off the second release of Celebration in February 2019. All right, you guys, thanks so much. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.